we are continuing our discussion on teaching cross rhythms. And today we're going to focus specifically on the First Arabesque by Claude Debussy. And this piece is full of 3 against 2. And they're wonderful, and it has some of the same challenges that we addressed in the Chopin Prelude in E minor and also in the Schubert's Serenade, meaning you have triplets, but the background, sometimes the background is, the challenge here is that the background beat or the background division of the beat is very often the 8th note, just normal, plain old duplet 8th notes. But then other times there are those triplets, and so that gives an interesting challenge for students in particular. And I find, let me play right where the main theme comes in and what I hear sometimes. What you hear is something is off. Many times students will try to match the left-hand duplets to the triplets when there's no triplets going on. So there's a challenge there. This is a beautiful piece. It's early Debussy, and so he was following in the footsteps of Chopin and continuing that beautiful lyrical style. And we all love this piece. So I'm going to go through the steps that I take again. And the first thing we do, of course, as with anything, is we talk and make sure students are up to date on, this is a 3 against 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. And what I will do in these practice sheets is make each beat into 6. And I like to start with a 6-4. Which makes the 2 duplet 8th notes, there's 2 of those in every beat. And so the left hand will have a dotted half note, 2 of them in each measure, and that will continue on through these whole couple of phrases. And then the right hand has triplets, and that's the 3 over the 2. So each one of those is 2 beats. And as I mentioned in my discussion on the Chopin Prelude and in Schubert, was that Strawberry Time works for a lot of 3 against 2, but when the background beat or the duples and not the triples, Strawberry Time isn't as strong, because Strawberry Time has a feeling of 1, 2, and 3. Strawberry Time. And then when you shift over to the duples for a beat or 2, it can be really confusing. And so I like pass the butter, pass the butter, pass the butter. Visually it helps, and it helps all the students. So here's the first practice exercise for the Debussy Arabesque, and we will be starting in measure 6. And I'm going to first count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. So on the visual, we have the 2 measures, which will translate to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 measures in 6/4. Then I will chart it in 6/8. Again, this is to teach them rhythmic relationships, and the feel of 6/8 is usually has a little bit more buoyancy and lift, so that also helps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. students can count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 if they don't want the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I do that just as much. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then pass the butter, pass the butter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Pass the butter, pass the butter. So that's, again, it helps, it works. It is time consuming. So students have to have patience. I, as the teacher, have to have patience. And a lot of times the parents have to. But it really helps. And when we think of counting the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for each left-hand eighth note, that keeps the consistency of those duples, and students do a lot better. I also turn on the metronome, and right there, I was probably about at 168, 176. So forth, and I'll move that up, and we can go from there. Now, that's the measures 6 and 7, and then 8 and 9 are a repeat. When you get to measure 10, you still have a little bit of the triplet. So I would continue, and I will add sheets for that. I will start in measure 10, and we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I were to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Starting in measure 10, we will do the pass the butter now. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Pass the butter. And again, I was a little faster than that. That's probably about 184, or maybe even a little faster. So the big secret on the First Arabesque is to keep not only even triplets, but to keep those left-hand duplets have got to be seamless and at totally even. If they are not, then we've got difficulties. The hardest thing in a piece like this is we want the flexibility. We want to feel the lyricism and all that. And so it seems a contradiction in terms to use a metronome, but I love that. It helps us chart and having students count and saying whichever approach works the best for them, whether 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 1 2 3 or pass the butter now, and always feeling where is that division of the beat for those seamless duplet eighth notes. And this is a huge help for students, and it can be several weeks before they feel that this is back in, or it arrives to a place where we feel that wonderful rhythm. I'm going to just start from the beginning and play this first page, and hopefully we can feel where we're going. This was a little under tempo. Debussy marks it andante with motion, but again, until we feel that seamless beat and the divisions of the beat, at some point then we can get that a little bit more flexibility, but then the rhythm makes sense. Any questions, please contact me and I'm happy to answer. Thank you again.